It's showtime, folks. Welcome in. Chase and Big Joe, 1025, 1063, the game on this Tuesday. Hope you're having a great start to your day. He's Big Joe. I'm Chase McCabe, Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier. On the ones and twos, I guess the fallout continues with Nico Iamaleava leaving Tennessee.
Right. And because of that, we've lost focus, which is good. We're down to single digits for the draft. We're down to 9 days.
9 days.
Next Thursday.
4 days to WrestleMania, 9 days to the draft. Like, it's just all getting here.
Yeah. So it's really cool that we're getting so close to the draft and figure it all out and going forward from there. So excited about all that.
I will go ahead and say this tomorrow on the program. Of course, we'll have John McClain at 9:30 like we usually do on Wednesdays at 10:30. Very excited to be joined by Paul Feinbaum from ESPN and the SEC Network. So Paul will join us and talk. Obviously we can get his thoughts on some of these draft prospects, but also the big news with Nico and then the transfer portal opening up. Where will he land? Is he going to go hang out with Bill Belichick and his girlfriend and their emails that are now public in the Athletic, or what are they going to do?
I like the fact it's like, oh, he's North Carolina bound. And then North Carolina comes out and says, no, we're good. We're good right there. The Colorado's like, no, we're good. I think it's fun. I think the Nico watch is really fun. And because it is, what are you going to do? I mean, you got to eat crow. I mean, you're not going to make what you made before. And now you got to go someplace else to try to get somebody will get him. I mean, I saw somebody would mention Tulane today. That coach, because he lost his quarterback, I think, to Duke, right?
Yeah.
So that coach is, and I forget his name, is Kentucky coach in waiting, basically. Kentucky fans want this guy at Tulane who's done a heck of a job, who coached there, and I forget his name, and from good sources that tell us this. So, I mean, yeah, you want a quarterback to get you through the year. That's it. You're not building for the future anymore. You know this. You're not building for the future.
No.
You're building for now.
You're building for the now.
But now, here's interesting, though, Chase. Tennessee needs a quarterback. So the portal opens tomorrow. I mean, how did you contact Heupel if you're at some random school and say, hey, I'm going to go there? Or does Heupel contact you? I don't know how this works,
probably
man.
Both. I don't. Yeah. I mean, it's probably a two-way street. I know there was something that he followed somebody on Twitter, or I don't know.
Heupel?
Yeah.
Followed you.
No, he did not.
He said, hey, man, we need to get this done. What about it goes after like a Vadiato? Experienced senior quarterback who's gotten the hell beat out of him the last 2 years?
Maybe.
Who
knows,
man? We don't know.
I'm sure as you sit there wearing MTSU gear,
it's all about
your
the
hat's
kids
upside
now.
down. By the
That's
way,
all right, man. There's a reason for that. Thank you for noticing that. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Where's all your middle gear that you wear? You got to be like me and wear it all the time.
I wear it a lot. It's a free shirt, so yeah. I'm wearing this.
Okay. You don't get under the weather, huh?
It's the allergies. It's just like, kicking my butt like everybody else.
You need Rexroad to rub some Vicks on your chest?
I need Rexroad to stay away from me.
That's what she said.
Kind of what I need.
Did your mom ever do that to you?
Vicks?
When you were a kid?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Dr. Crane?
Oh, yeah.
By the way, I have to tell Chase what you told me yesterday about Nani.
What?
About you misbehaving.
Did you misbehave?
No, I didn't misbehave.
She'd throw shoes at him.
No. Joe.
The true story. Right? Shoes?
I got shoes thrown at me this weekend.
He's not far off on the story.
I did. I really did.
What kind of game you playing over there in Bellevue?
Nothing. No, so we went to the Kane Brown concert Saturday night.
Okay.
And Rick and I decided to take a little stroll down Broadway to let the traffic die down and stuff. And so we did a little honky tonkin' for old time's sake, and we were waiting on our ride, and so we're walking back down, to go get where the ride's going to pick us up. And there's a group of girls that have been having fun and maybe a little too much fun, and
Ricky running his mouth.
Ricky started running his mouth, messing with him, and I got a shoe thrown at me.
Somebody threw you a backwoods buoy?
Yes, they did.
So did Nani throw shoes at you too?
Okay, not necessarily shoes. They were like rubber sandals from time to time, but primarily they were the wooden spoons. Like, it's the typical Italian stereotype.
I was about to say, that's very...
Yeah. It wasn't directly at me. So my grandmother thought it'd be, a good idea of just throw them to the side of me, right? And they'd go past me like, oh, I almost hit you. Like, you better be careful. So then I caught on as a kid. I was like, you know what? This is kind of fun. And so I just picked up and it was like playing fetch.
Oh, nice. My mom would throw her pocketbook at me.
Oh,
because it was loaded down with cigarettes and everything else. And so, but it didn't happen a lot. But I vividly remember throwing the pocketbook at me to misbehavior. I was a pretty good kid growing up, but unlike Dr. Crane here,
I was a good kid. I told you
she
about
threw wooden spoons
You were
at you.
mischievous, weren't you?
No, I honestly, if I was out of line, it would have been bad.
Up to no good.
Yeah, I told Joe I was petrified of my grandfather and what he could do as an adult to discipline somebody. So I was like, I'm not going to get out of line.
Well, he was a pro wrestler.
Yeah. So the stature kind of freaked everybody out.
Yeah.
So your mom's too nice. Your mom's way too nice.
Yeah. I mean, but I was a good kid.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Dad he had to throw something like
okay,
that.
so no, he never threw. The one time that I got like in the most trouble that I ever was in, and I absolutely deserved it. So my dad lived right next to the Bellevue Mall. He lived in some condos right next to it. And me and one of my friends one day, I was probably like 5 or 6. I was young. Thought it was we were playing outside because, back in those days, you could play outside unsupervised and
without getting kidnapped.
Yeah, right. So we thought it would be a good idea to go over to the mall and not tell anyone. And so that ended very poorly.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Freaked out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I hope he beat the snot out of you.
There was a spanking.
Yeah. I love that. Spoons and spankings, man. I love that's
you can't do that anymore. No.
You know what's funny is I've told people this. If you went to high school or junior high in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, the teachers then didn't teach. They had one goal in mind, and that was to beat the snot out of you. I mean, I got so many spankings in junior high that we all did. We all got spankings in junior high. Did you? No, you went to uppity up school. And so did you, Dr. Crane. You went to the uppity up school.
Excuse me, Joseph.
Did you get ever spanked in school?
No.
Exactly.
Now.
You're too young. They stopped it by the time you got there.
No. I mean, even with me, if they had done that, I mean, they'd go to prison.
Yeah.
So, Joe, did you have like the paddle with like 4 holes in it? Is that what that was?
I mean, we had teachers.
That's a paddling.
We had when I at Donaldson Junior High. I mean, we had teachers that just lived to beat you. That was their job. I mean, you mess up, they would beat you. I mean, that with the paddle. And now, can you imagine a teacher paddling a 14-year-old girl? He'd go to prison. I mean, now that's the way things are. I mean, but they're like, they bring paddling back in schools. No, don't. Maybe I don't know. Maybe some cases you can do that. I don't know, but
sounds like these teachers just playing cricket with someone's head.
It was just, they didn't want to teach us. They wanted to beat us. They paid attention to everything. So that's part of growing up.
I have a video that's or a soundbite that's probably appropriate for this conversation that Dr. Crane's pulling up right now.
All right, good. All right, I like that.
Hal Gill going to join us at 9:30. We'll get his thoughts on one more game. Thank goodness, season is almost over for the Predators, and they can hit the reset button and get ready for next year.
How was the crowd last night?
It was okay until the end, and then everybody started leaving. How about this? We see George Kittle there all the time, right? He brought a friend, Brock Purdy.
Oh, really?
Purdy was there. This is what your teacher told you.
Okay.
Talking out of turn. That's a paddling. Looking out the window. That's a paddling. Staring at my handles. That's a paddling. Paddling the school canoe. Oh, you better believe that's a paddling.
Is that the beard?
Yeah. Jasper.
Yeah. Well, he's got a name?
Jasper.
I didn't know he had a name.
Yeah.
That's it. We all got beaten in the 70s and 80s and 90s. But yeah, you guys were way too young. Yeah, well, I mean, you don't get in trouble. It happens. But there's no way. But you guys were uppity up schools. There's no way.
We're not uppity up schools. We're good schools.
Uppity up schools. From my viewpoint, across the tracks in Donaldson Hermitage, you guys went to uppity up schools. I mean, I'm just my viewpoint on the bad side of the tracks. You guys were at the good.
So
schools.
what am I supposed to say? From my point of view, you went to the poor school. Like
you can say that.
I'm not saying
fine.
that.
I mean, I'm 100%.
I don't believe that.
Okay,
so.
but thank you. But you
guys,
McGavick
is a fine institution.
But you guys were uppity ups, man. That's okay.
Do you want to say like your lunch allowance was a nickel? Like, what do you want me to say?
No, here's the thing though. When FRA has obviously changed a lot since I was there. Still a fantastic institution, but I always felt when I was there that yes, we were a private school, but it was a little more laid back than some of the other private schools. When I was there, there were
Okay.
no like now they wear uniforms and all that stuff. They didn't have that when I was there. In a lot of schools had kind of gone to that at that point. And
But you went to school with kids of very famous people.
yes, I did. That's
We
true.
did not have that.
Yeah, no, that's true.
We just had, oh, Ken's dad got promoted. He's making $40,000 a year. Watch out now.
But like, what's funny is I, pull into the parking lot in my grandfather's giant boat Cadillac, and then look and see all these brand new Beamers and Porsches and all this.
Oh,
stuff.
well, man.
Be like, huh, okay, well, that's cool.
Yeah. So,
I won't sink. So
True. But I didn't care if I had a car in high school. As long as I had a car, I did not care.
I mean, that was well, and the rationale of my family was give him a big car, it's safe.
True.
So
like that. Remember we had Rick Stockstill on, and he said the parking lot when he played at FSU in the early 80s to the parking lot at FSU now.
Oh yeah.
And those guys in the cars are driving. And I was like, oh my Lord, like Corvettes and everything else going on. And all the cars that Carson Beck has at Miami. I wonder what Nico drove. What did he drive? Like a Bentley or
Probably
something?
Maserati or something.
I can't fathom that, man.
I remember one time like my mom and I were talking about that stuff, and she saw like some of the college athletes, and they were in like all these exotic cars and stuff, and she goes, she's like, well, I don't think mom and daddy bought those. I'm like, really?
What was the line from Eric Dickerson? My grandmama bought me that. He had some
yeah.
Corvette or something.
Yeah.
And she was on a fixed income. He's like, my grandma got it for me. And they're like,
Sure.
okay.
Sure. 615-737-1025. That's our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. We are up and running here on this Tuesday. Hal going to join us at 9:30. But coming up next, Joe likes to throw out these draft scenarios where the Titans aren't going to take Cam Ward. Well, there's another team that possibly needs a quarterback. We'll play that game. Even though I don't think it's going to happen, we'll play that game. Coming up next, Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
Miller the block. Going deep for Adams. Intercept in the secondary for the Chargers. Second down and 2 for Derek Carr. Miller the block. It's picked off.
He's helping down at the bottom. Carr over the middle. Deflected and then picked off in the end zone. Intercepted by Kevin Byard.
Oh, there's the name. Is he anywhere? Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 the game.
Not that I know of, right? He's got another year unless the Bears sign him for 2, but I don't think they did.
For some reason, I thought he was a free agent. No, I guess he's still at the Bears.
All right, hold on real quick before you do this Saints thing. All right, this Nico picture you sent me.
That was Dr. Crane.
Dr. Crane. I mean, it's that SUV Mercedes he's in.
Yeah.
Yes.
And is that Heupel drive? Oh, my gosh.
This one they recruited him.
Okay. And Heupel's driving it. So they're all guilty.
Sure.
They're all culpable in this. All of them. So, and I'm with Heupel. I mean, you're not going to get the demand. Give me more. I get all that. But they allowed this to get to that point. But here's my thing, Chase McCabe. What's your motivation now?
That's a great question.
I mean, you're getting all this money and you're getting everything handed over to. What's your motivation?
I don't know.
Am I missing something? Maybe I am. I'm not sure, but I mean, at some point, you got to go out and play the game and lift your teammates and be a leader. Now this is coming out. He wasn't a leader. He didn't speak up and all that's going on. And it's like a lot of chaos that was happening there. But that picture, man, that's something. I had never seen that picture. And Heupel driving like he's a damn Uber driver. Is that humiliating? Let me ask you a question. Is it?
Probably.
Could you see Bear Bryant doing this?
No. Could you see Nick Saban doing that?
No, a little bit.
Not as much.
Not as much, but on the same, standing on a boat together, something like that. But can you imagine Newt Rockne sitting on a Model T and he's got whomever in the back seat doing all that? Couldn't see it, man.
No.
All right. Sorry.
It's okay. He gets distracted. It's all right. It happens. So news coming out that Derek Carr, the Saints quarterback, has an injured shoulder, could potentially miss the season with this. And so the question arises, what do they do at quarterback? Spencer Rattler's on the roster. I don't think anyone feels very good about that. Could they want to be in a position to try and move up and draft a quarterback?
Yeah.
Now there are some mock drafts that have, and I think the ESPN tandem draft with Field Yates and Kuiper came out today, and they have at 9 Shedeur Sanders going to the Saints, so they certainly could do that. But if they really, really like Cam Ward, could they, just blow the Titans away with an offer?
Absolutely could.
So in our little draft, ESPN Analytics draft simulator that we've had some fun with, I put together a potential trade. Tell me if you would do this.
All right, I love this.
Titans send 1 to New Orleans for number 9, number 71 this year, and then their first and second rounders next year.
Yeah, in a heartbeat.
You would do that?
Yeah.
You could also, there's even more you could probably do. I would probably take a little bit more as well. You could do, it's even accepting if I did their first, second, and third this year, plus their first, second next year for 1. So, I'm going to take, you got to give me everything, essentially.
Yeah, I got what you need. So get up here and get it. Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, then the Titans have to figure out what they're going to do at quarterback, but, there's no movement on Rodgers. So,
right.
Kirk Cousins could become available.
Right. There's all kind of options there, man, that could happen.
So there you go.
Yeah. Now you've got me doing I'm trading with the Saints now.
You're doing it.
Yeah. You could potentially trade them, get 6 of the top 138 players in the draft. It's now. We got it now. But then you go back. McClain said it. Chris Sanders has said it. If you don't have a quarterback, you got nothing. But what are you waiting on? Cam Ward's not going to come in and lead you to the Super Bowl this year. I don't know, man. There's a lot here.
I find it interesting too that all of a sudden it's the Giants, I believe, that want to have another workout with Shedeur Sanders.
Okay.
Don't they have Russell and Jameis?
And then don't
Tommy
forget
DeVito, baby.
Tommy DeVito, man. Hey.
Tommy Cutlets.
Yeah. Hey. Forget about he.
Please
Sorry.
don't ever do that again.
How was it?
That didn't sound like any of my cousins.
Not at all. I mean, I'm half, but I'm not on that side. I'm not close to that side of my family. So,
We'll get you there. How about that? We'll
Okay.
work on it.
all right. How would you say it?
A. It's a quick A.
So
I will never forget when you said one time, "Hey, Dr. Crane, what's Italian for huh?" And he goes, "Eh."
that was a good little drop we had,
Yeah.
too, man.
I mean, it's all expressions. Like you look at something,
Oh, I love it, man. I like it a lot. Now you got me on this draft thing. Now I can't get off of it. You got me the other day on it. Now I'm back again on this thing. Just nonsense, man.
But it is kind of addicting. It's fun.
Because you get to feel like, yeah, you're doing something important.
Feel like a young Mike Borganzi.
And when you hit like a fifth rounder, I told y'all, fifth rounder, that Caleb Johnson from Iowa would be the guy. And you're like, oh, shut up.
Who?
I still think the team's going to make an offer for the Titans and say, hey, we need that number. And we're all like, well, they don't need a quarterback. They need a quarterback. Why can't they move up to one and get a team and get Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter?
I love this text that we just got. 8395. Y'all are going to laugh at me, but is there any scenario in which the Titans would go scoop up Tannehill, pay him, and then trade out of one? Let me just throw the hypothetical out there for a second. What if they did that? What if he's been refreshed? He's been on the couch fishing for a year. He's feeling good. You know, he doesn't know this staff, but this offense would certainly work for him. And they're like, hey, Ryan, you know, you want to come back? You want to do this? And they bring him back, keep Levis as a backup, or, you know, have Brandon, have them duke it out for the backup job.
Keep going.
And then trade out of one and get all these picks. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm just saying, what if? What if it did? Would Titans fans be okay with that? Or would they be like, what in the hell are we doing?
I think there'd be a small portion like, oh, my God, no. But when Tannehill was good, he was good. I mean, I know he made mistakes, and I get that, but he's better than
you know what he is.
He's better than 90% of these guys. I mean, it's not going to happen, but
Sure.
I'd be okay with it, knowing that
I think he's
2
done.
years.
I just think he's done.
He's worth $100 million.
Yeah.
Why come back for this? If I come back, you're going to pay me $35 million for 2 years. Okay, there you go. They're not going to do that, but I see what it is. But I go back to a team that's going to trade up. They're not necessarily looking for a quarterback. We did the Dolphins trade the other day. Why? They could want Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
I think Travis Hunter is the best player in this draft. And I'm not a guy who puts all the broad
he's
brush.
going to Cleveland. That's probably what's going to happen.
Because I think you're good at defensive end, you're good at linebacker, you're good at safety, you're good at wide receiver, but I think he has the most upside, Travis Hunter, of anybody in this draft.
Yeah.
So why would not the Dolphins draft up? And Joe Rexford's been on this too, and I agree with Joe on this. I don't know why the team would not want to move up and say, all right, we want Travis Hunter. Here's what we're going to give you. By the way, the Dolphins are moving on from Jalen Ramsey, who's just been a complete malcontent.
Yeah, don't even think about it.
They owe him
Titans fans, I don't even want to hear it.
Dolphins get rid of him. They owe him $25 million.
Yeah.
You don't want him. Anyway, so you move on from him, and why can't you not move up and get – if the Dolphins lay this off from the table, that's so like, oh, my goodness. And all they want is the one guy. They want Travis Hunter. They felt like he'd be the guy to put him on over the top. Then do it.
But to just play devil's advocate for a second, they could work that deal with Cleveland. They don't have to work that deal with the Titans to get Travis Hunter because Cam's going number 1 overall. I mean, there's a team that wants a quarterback is going to take Cam Ward. So it could definitely be Cleveland.
You just ruin everything.
I'm just playing devil's advocate. Okay,
you're the Debbie Downer of the sports world.
I try. No, I think that starts at 2.
You're like, the number one killer of cats is feline AIDS.
A couple of texts. We open a can of worms here before we get to Hal. William says, if they brought Tannehill back, I wouldn't be a fan anymore. 0780 says Flacco before Tannehill. Flacco just re-signed with Cleveland.
True.
I saw. 2955 should have never let Tannehill go in the first place.
I don't think it was. I think he wanted to be gone. I think there was no interest on his side to come back.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
mean, I think he saw everybody else kind of exiting, and it was kind of the end.
I thought he would come back. I thought he'd go to a team that could win us potentially.
I
win
thought
a Super
he'd
Bowl.
go to. I mean, I thought the surefire place for him was going to be Pittsburgh with Art.
Yep,
that's what I thought. And remember, we had Arthur Smith on, and I said, "Are you as surprised as we are that he's not in a camp?" And he goes, "Nope, but I've talked to him, and you haven't."
Yeah, I remember we hung up. You're like, "He's done."
Yeah,
he's
done,
and that's fine. I mean, that's fine. But I'm telling you, man, you got the potential. You get Cam Ward, I get that, and you got the pick in the second round. But you have an opportunity just to gobble up so much capital right here, and you own this. I just don't know how they're going to pass that up. I'm going to be disappointed if I hear Titans take Cam Ward. Like, here we go. We go to the camp.
I mean, you're going to hear that. Like,
you think so?
Yes.
I don't think we are. I really don't think we are going to hear that.
We'll talk more about this after Hal. We'll take a quick hockey break.
Change your attitude.
Back to that. No, I'll try. The Predators lose again last night. I don't think we really care about that at this point, but one more game left. And then what's next? Hal Gill going to join us. As we always enjoy our conversations with him. We'll do that coming up next here on Chasing Big Joe, presented by the Omni Nashville Hotel, broadcasting from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville Studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz, Dr. Crane, is always about great service. Hey, the Atlanta Braves country road trip is coming to town and teaming up with the Nashville Predators and us here at 102.5 The Game. We'll be at BetMGM Sports Lounge in Bridgestone Arena tomorrow for a Braves watch party as they take on the Toronto Blue Jays at noon. There also will be awesome giveaways like a chance to win Braves tickets, Joe, every 30 minutes to a game of your choice. Plus Braves hats, T-shirts, autographed baseballs. The first 15 people in the door will win a pair of tickets to the Preds game that night. For more details, visit thegamenashville.com/events. Predators fall last night to the Utah Hockey Club. One more game, the Dallas Stars, tomorrow night at Bridgestone Arena. We say hello to Predators analyst Hal Gill, who is on the line with us. And Skillsy, I don't know what it's like from a player's point of view, but I have to guess after a season like this, just get to the finish line, baby.
Yeah, just get there, and you got nothing to save it for. There's some guys that are going to go to the World Championships, and you look around, and this is the last time this group is going to play together, and so you go play hard for each other, and then celebrate the fact that it's over. And it's hard to go through. This is the hardest thing to go through. It's a miserable experience. It consumes your life, and it's exhausting. And so these guys, they've been playing hard too. They need a break. So blow it out one more time. See if you can kind of ruin the party for Dallas and then get a break. Much deserved break.
How important, we'll know, by the end of this week, Barry Trotz, Andrew Brunette, they'll all sit down and they'll talk. The players will meet with the coaches in the front office and the exit meetings because, they typically want to get that done as quickly as possible so they can, go and do their thing for the offseason. But I feel like this year, more than just about any other year, those meetings are going to be very, very important. What comes out of those when you, as a player, are meeting with the team?
Yeah, there's a lot of different levels of those meetings. There's the veterans that, that are going to go in and they know what they did wrong. I've had coaches come in and say, hey, you know what you need to work on. You know what you need to do in the off season. We need you to be better here, there, the other thing. We thought you did well at this. You go through your whole game and the whole season, and then you kind of have a plan moving forward. The veterans that have big contracts are going to be here. They're not going anywhere. So they might ask them, where do you see this process going? Like, where do you think we should go and get everyone's information on the future of the organization and the way they want the team to go? And then, you move forward and sometimes they take what you say, and other times they say, you can want whatever you want, but we're going this way. And then the younger guys, it's all about evaluating and, more importantly, self-evaluating. I think the coaches and the GMs want to hear what you thought of the season and how you played and what you need to get better on, and hope that jives with what they're thinking. A lot of times it doesn't. It's one guy saying, I thought I got a bunch of points, and that's good at the end of the season. And then we need you in the beginning of the season. You need to be dialed in and ready, and you need to be stronger on pucks, and you need to lift weights. You need to get in the gym, So there's a lot that you're breaking down. And sometimes that's a hard conversation for a younger guy to have. And other times it's what spurs them to get going and be ready for the next season. So, long story short, there's a lot going into those meetings, and it's not always easy.
Talking to Hal Gill on the Chase and Big Joe show. Hal, I know it's difficult when somebody comes up to you and says, what about Andrew Brunette? They got to fire that guy, or they got to keep that guy. Is it uncomfortable for you to discussing about a guy that should or should not lose his job? Because I got friends in college football, and I hate when people ask me that they should be fired. And it's not an uncomfortable situation, but it's a very different situation. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's tough because I think everyone likes Bruno and they want to buy into what he's doing, but they need the return, So ultimately, winning is what matters. And so, excuse me, I think something has to change, and whether that's Bruno changing or the players changing to match what Bruno wants to do. There's so many things that go into it, or Trotzy getting adjusting personnel. There's a lot that went into it. We knew we didn't have a big center. Like beginning of the season, you needed a big centerman, and I thought the team was going to float through and be able to be good enough that they could build off that and maybe get a big centerman at some point. But they never were good enough to get to that point where they could go get a big center. And then Bruno's system, I thought looked good early on, but they had a ton of chances that they didn't bury. And so, that's been the story of the season is, okay, now Bruno makes some tweaks to try to generate more offense, and the defense suffers. And then they lock down the defensive zone, but then the offense suffers. So there's a lot of tweaks, and everyone's responsible for it. And the veterans are, talked about those exit meetings. I'm sure there's going to be veterans that are going to say, I'm sorry, I didn't do my job this year, and I think Bruno's one of those guys that say, hey, I didn't do my job this year. I think Trotzy's got to look at it and say, I didn't do my job this year, and everyone's got to look at it and understand that it's not good enough when you lose. And that's the bottom line. And so when they all get together, hopefully they can come up with something that allows them to win next year.
Hal Gill is with us, and we've talked about this before, and you've done a really good job of explaining that different players need different things. That a coach may coach you differently than they may coach Chris Mason or Shea Weber or whatever. And so in those meetings, how much of like player X going to Trotz or Bruno and saying like, hey, one thing is I need you to be a little harder on me. Like I need that. Like I need somebody that's going to kind of push me. Are those conversations happening? And is that, I look at Bruno and I think he's very mild mannered and stuff, but sometimes I do wonder, does this team need a little bit more of that sandpaper like some of the coaches in the league have?
Yeah, every player is different. I was a feedback guy. If you got in my face and yelled at me, I got confused, and I could handle it, but it didn't solve the problem. It would be like, okay, I'll work harder, but I wanted feedback. I wanted specifics. What do I do? I had Mike Keenan who yelled and screamed at me and insulted me and my family and tore down every core belief I ever had and made me question everything about my life. And I stopped him, at one point halfway through the season. I just said, what do you want me to do? And he said, I need you to be stronger in front of the net. I need you to make a better exit pass. And I said, okay, thank you. And I felt better after that. And so I think every coach has to dial in, and usually for better or for worse, you find that out on the dad's trip, right? Like the dad goes over to the coach and you go, oh no, what is he going to say? And the dad says, hey, this is the way my boy ticks, because the father knows best, right? They say, hey, Bruno, you got to be hard on him. If he has that shift, you got to bench him or you got to scream at him. Other guys will say, hey, he doesn't handle it well. If you push him too hard, he'll pull away. So you really got to take it easy on him. And that's the coach's job, is to figure out what each guy takes. But it certainly does help when a player says, hey, this is what I respond to. And then you can't fake it. It can't be back to that self-evaluation. The player can't, Luke Evangelista can't come up and say, I need more power play time. And well, Luke, you got to earn it. If you want more PP time, you got to earn it. And, you can't just say what you want and get it. You got to go out and prove it. And so I think, a young guy like Luke, for example, is going to learn from those meetings and those interactions. And that's part of the development process. So, the coaching is not always easy, especially a losing season. I've been on a losing season where I played well, and the coaches will say, hey, you're playing well, just keep doing what you're doing. But if you're not getting the results, then you think you're not playing well.
Hal, I want to ask you this question. At some point, does Trotz look at a player and say, do you want to be here? Is that a question he's got to ask?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's, Marty Erat asked for a trade, and I remember Barry Trotz brought us in, and we all sat down. And if he doesn't want to be here, we don't want him here. I think that's 100% got to be the case. That goes back to buy-in. If you're not bought into the team and you're not committed to it, it doesn't work. And you can fake it all you want, but if a guy's not bought in and guy doesn't want to be here, and I know people disagree with me, and I'm not saying I'm dead right on this, but I firmly believe if you want to be part of something and you want to be part of fixing it, I'm sure there's going to be someone that says, I don't want to be here. We lost. And I want the guy that says, I want to be here because I want to be the reason we turn this around next year and have a great season.
Well, I think it's going to be a very interesting couple of weeks to kind of see. I also think that the talent's here that they can reset this thing pretty quickly and get back to where everybody knows the Predators to be. So going to be an interesting offseason. Hal, I know Smashville Live is tonight, Brewhouse 100 in Bellevue starting at 6. You mentioned Luke Evangelista. He'll be there along with the rookie Matthew Wood. So looking forward to hearing and seeing that tonight with you and Max.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I think those are two good guys to talk to because, they're I feel like they turned it on. And how about Matthew Wood? It was fun to watch him.
First career point last night.
Talking to him and got his first point. And Luke has kind of made some strides to say, okay, this guy's got something. And it's a part of his development. So we'll pick his brain tonight for sure. And I'm anxious to talk to them about their summer plans, right? Like, what are you going to work on this summer? Let's break it down. You were just asking me. Well, tonight we can talk to the players about it.
Yep, going to be fun for sure. Hal, thanks as always. I know we will talk to you during the off season, but we've enjoyed these visits over the course of the season, even though it hadn't gone the way that we all hoped it would.
Yeah, always a pleasure, Chase, and hopefully this dust settles and we can go have a couple adult beverages and rehash everything.
I would love that. I think we can do that. We can make that happen for sure. Thanks, Skillsy.
Yeah, all right. Sounds good. Cheers, guys.
Absolutely. Hal Gill joining us here on the program. Of course, see him on the TV side and the radio side.
Hey, Chase, maybe me and you and that big fat guy you do the show with. I don't know his name. We can all hang out soon.
Yeah.
We started laughing.
You can't sit here. Yeah, this is the cool kids.
Right.
All right.
Park our car. Come back in a moment. Oh, man.
We'll react to a little bit of that. I got a couple of thoughts on the Preds before things go into the off-season mode after tomorrow's game. But right now, you can enter to win an exclusive Keith Urban experience. Text in the keyword Keith, Keith, to 615-737-1025 and receive a link to sign up for a chance to win an all-inclusive tickets to the Eurostone Club at Bridgestone Arena to see Keith Urban, plus a chance to win $1,000 cash. So text that in now. Also, a little later in the show, we're going to give you a chance to win tickets to the Jack Links 500 at the Talladega Superspeedway coming up on Sunday, April 27th. You'll have to answer some NASCAR trivia, and I am not going to make it easy on you. So we will do that a little later in the show. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Tune into Sports Talk 8:30 to 9 as the Nashville Sounds will take on Charlotte. Pregame at 5:20, first pitch at 5:35. Coverage also available on the Game Nashville app and at thegamenashville.com. Sounds Baseball is presented by Twin Peaks and Family Leisure. Chasing Big Joe with you on this Tuesday. Appreciate Hal Gill for joining us. We'll have that opportunity to win Talladega tickets coming up here in just a few minutes. A trivia question I will throw out there. The first person to give that answer to Dr. Crane will win, but listen for your cue to call. Good stuff from Hal Gill. Always like his perspective. And I think that I think there's some decisions that have probably already been made and they're just waiting for the season to end. And then there's some that I think they need to talk and hear from the players. And, people keep asking me, you kind of brought it up with Hal, what I think is going to happen with Andrew Brunette. I think there is an argument for either side. There is certainly a discussion. The season did not go as planned. The expectations were not lived up to. And when that happens, the coach didn't do his job. Well, as Hal pointed out, and I thought he was right, players didn't do their job. The GM didn't do his job either. Everybody's culpable in this. But we've seen it time and time again where while multiple people will be culpable in something, the coach is usually the one that gets it. I really don't know. My answer is I really don't know what they're going to do.
I don't think he gets fired.
I lean towards that
because then the clock starts ticking on somebody else.
Yes. And I mean, look, this is Barry's hire. I mean, he hired him.
Yeah.
He took his time with John Hines. But the other thing is, I will say, he can't do that again. Like he went well into May making a decision on John Hines. And I think he learned from that, and John ended up getting a job and everything with Minnesota. But I think if you are going to make a change, you need to do it quickly. I mean, you've had time to figure that out if that's what you're going to do. I think it's only fair to do it that way. But I'm leaning that Bruno's going to come back because I think there's a belief in the organization, and I kind of believe this too, that this was just a bad year,
It was.
and they've played better in the second half. It was too little, too late. I am concerned that Saros is in his own head a little bit. Ananen's played more, towards the end of the season, but they had key injuries. It took forever for guys like Marchessault and Stamkos to click. Once they started clicking, you kind of saw that get better. They do have to find a big centerman to help. They have got to get some help on defense. Yossi, I think, doesn't have a true defense partner, which will allow him to do, as Hal likes to say, Yossi things. They have to address that. But, they're right now, they're in the third spot. We'll see how the lottery falls. But, if they get a top 3, top 4 pick, that's somebody that's going to help them, immediately. Obviously, they're going to have to grow into it, but that's the rare time you see in hockey where you draft a guy where he actually does play for you right away. So,
yeah, right.
So I will be curious to see. I don't think tomorrow really, matters on any of the decisions that need to be made. But we'll see what ends up happening, towards the end of the week and the weekend, and kind of go from there. But my leaning is that Andrew Brunette is back, and like I said, I can kind of make a case for both. I'm kind of being Switzerland here, but I can make a case for both sides based on what I've seen and what I know.
One more game, man, tomorrow night.
One more game. Go out there and then get your tea times ready.
I think the question I ask Hal, just ask the guy, do you want to be here? You have to answer that honestly. Stamkos, do you want to be here?
Yeah.
Do you want to be here? And if not, we'll help you get out of here and go someplace else. But I want guys that want to be here. And so that's the thing, is that this season is an utter disaster. There's no other way to look at it.
All right, let's give away some tickets. Talladega Super Speedway, the Jack Links 500 on Sunday, April 27th. But you got to answer this trivia question to win these tickets. 615-737-1025. Dale Earnhardt Sr. It has the most wins at the Talladega Superspeedway with 10. All but one of those wins came in the famed number 3 owned by Richard Childress. What was the other car number that Dale Earnhardt Sr. won a race at the Talladega Superspeedway in? 615-737-1025. He did not run the number 3 his entire career. So what was the number that he won at Talladega other than 3? 615-737-1025. We'll tell you that answer coming up next here on Chasing Big Joe. 1025, 1063, The Game. Hour number 2, Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game on this Tuesday. Hope you're having a great start to your day. He is Big Joe. I'm Chase McCabe. Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier on the ones and twos. We'll get back into you've been doing mock drafts over there, so
I have,
you're having fun.
But we got to send our condolences out to a very good friend of ours on the show here.
Yes, I'm
Tim Hasselbeck's father passed away, and Tim is somebody that's been with this station since day one in 2011. And we love Tim Hasselbeck, and it's just our hearts go out to his family.
Yeah, Tim and Matthew tweeted it out last night. Of course, Matt, former Titans quarterback. But we've been blessed to get to know the Hasselbecks over the years, and Tim coaching at Ensworth, his dad was helping out, with that too, and so just learned that sad news yesterday, and we've reached out to Tim and definitely thinking about him and Matt and the rest of the family and all of them. So condolences for sure. I've been there. I get it. So you've been there. It's not easy, but that's why you have family and can help each other through it. So we're thinking about you.
Yeah.
Best friend.
Won a Super Bowl with the Raiders in '83. I mean, that's just Super Bowl winner. Man, that's pretty cool.
He played for the Vikings too, right?
I don't, maybe for like
I think
a year.
He did. Because I asked Jared and he wasn't sure. So Don Hasselbeck is who we're talking about. He played for the Vikings in '84. And I think
he was 6'7".
He was a big guy. He did. So he and Floyd were together with the Vikings. Floyd was the defensive coordinator in '84. So I knew there was a connection somewhere with Floyd Reese. I asked a trivia question for the Talladega tickets. I believe Cindy was our winner. The question was Dale Earnhardt Sr., who has the most wins at Talladega with 10. All but one of those wins came in the famed number 3, owned by Richard Childress. What was the other car number? The most popular guess was 2, because he started his career in the number 2 in the Cup Series with Rod Osterlund. In 1981, he started with Osterlund. He sold the team. He stayed in the 2 for a little bit, and then that didn't work out. So he went to Richard Childress and drove the 3 for the first time, but that didn't work out. And so he left at the end of '81 and went to Bud Moore Engineering in a Ford in the number 15, sponsored by Wrangler. That's where he had the Wrangler car and the blue and the yellow. He'd returned to Childress in 1984, where he raced the rest of his career in the number 3. So it was the number 15, the only time he drove a Ford.
So Cindy got that.
Yep.
Do you think Cindy Googled that?
I hope not. I hope she knew. If you know your Earnhardt, you knew the 15, because I mean, even Michael Waltrip ran the 15 because that was one of his numbers.
It's funny about numbers. You should mention that, because I was tweeting you guys the other night, or texting you guys with the Lawrence Taylor documentary. He was 98 for the Giants for 1 year.
I didn't know that.
Then the NFL moved a rule like all linebackers have to be in the 50s.
So he became 56.
He wanted 51 because he loved Dick Butkus. But then he's like, I'll take 56.
So is this like a football life?
Yeah.
Is that what this was?
Yeah.
So there was I've watched a documentary on him from a few years ago that was fantastic, but I'm sure that was
pretty much the same thing.
Yeah. He's a fascinating study.
He re-evolutionized the game of football,
yeah,
because Parcells said Lawrence Taylor is the reason that the H-back was invented, because you had to block him with a tight end / fullback. Yeah, the tight end had to get out to catch a pass. So somebody had to help block. So the fullback became the H-back for the sole reason of 2 guys blocking Lawrence Taylor. So what happened? 2 guys blocked Lawrence Taylor. It opens up for guys like Jim Burt and George Martin to get in there and make the sacks. And LT was pretty funny about, because I took more pride in those guys making sacks than I did. But yeah, he was 98 and switched over to 56.
But he was technically a linebacker, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But he could, in some defenses, I guess, be considered a defensive end, right? If you look at kind of today's NFL, like there's some pass rushers that.
Yeah, I mean, it's putting your hand down, and he never put his. He
was always on the outside.
Yeah, and so in college he did, but in the pros not so much. But you throw out a number at 56, like, oh, LT, 3 Dale Earnhardt. I mean, it's just crazy how the numbers have played a part in our lives for so long.
Yep.
For different things that go
on. They do for sure. But I'm sure that is a good. All right, how's your draft going?
Well, I just took the Las Vegas Raiders to the woodshed, and they know it. Brady sent me a note earlier. It's like, what's going on?
You deflated him.
It's ESPNanalytics.com. And if you're at work right now, I suggest you not do this because you won't get nothing done the rest of the day. That's the reason you should do it. And it's fascinating, man. You brought up last week. I'm like, oh, this is boring. And then you look at it and thinking, holy cow. And you just different trade scenarios that go on. This is fun. And I just did one with the Raiders, and I ended up getting 6 picks, 6 of the first 103 players. 6 of the first 103 players on the Titans. I got defensive end. I got 2 wide receivers. I got a tight end. I got a linebacker. I mean, this is fun to do. Can you imagine sitting in that room? I think we all look at the draft like, oh, I could do that. No, I don't think you at that moment. That's the thing we talked about.
Yeah.
Does it Breaker? Is it Borgonzi? Is it Amy Adams? Who makes a call? You got 10 minutes. Who makes that call?
It's a great question.
I don't know. I mean, does Amy Adams make the call? I mean, you have to say, Amy, we're going to take Nick Frazier out of Father Ryan High School. Okay. I mean, is it more just lip service to her? She's not going to sit back and say, well, his intangibles, his cone drill, he had a 4.4,
no,
which is not good.
Just saying, from that camp, you're getting a good athlete.
So I don't know, but this is kind of like put you in the box of like, all right, how's this going to go on, dude? I think you get a newfound respect for
it's
the
hard
process.
To do. Well, so I will say one of the coolest things that we got to do when Floyd was here was he did a contract negotiation with a former agent. We actually recorded that, and he did a fake contract. That was fun to listen to. And then also he told stories about calling GMs and making trades and just the dialogue that goes there. And, he was always like, you have to know what you want. And if you don't want something, you have to let the other guy know, hey, like, look, I'm not moving off of this. So, you either come up with something different or you're wasting my time and I'm wasting yours, So some of those conversations, but like, for instance, we were talking about the Saints earlier. They could be in the market for a quarterback. What I think one of the biggest things that Borgonzi and Brinker need to do next week is figure out how to get into the 3rd round, whether that's moving back from 35 and, keeping a 2nd round pick, but maybe picking later in the 2nd round and trying to get a 3rd round out of that. You have a couple of 4s. That you can use, do you use those to try and maneuver your way around? But I just feel like the 3rd round is usually an important round. You need your 1st, you need your 2nd, but they had traded that 3rd round to get L'Jarius Sneed, which is looking to be it was already looking bad. Now it's even looking worse.
Will you give up will you give up the rest of the draft, your 4th, 5th, and 6th rounder? Then you got 2 in the 6th rounder to get a 3rd rounder and be done? Have 3 picks?
No, that would no.
Then nobody's going to trade you. Nobody's going to.
No, yeah, they will. 35 is a good pick.
So what are you saying? Get rid of 35?
I'm saying I would consider moving back from 35, to 45 or something like that. If I know, and you'd probably have to throw one of your 4ths in there too to get a 3rd, and then you still have a 2nd, you still have a 3rd, you still have a 4th. You have 2 4ths right now.
And you'd be good with 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. 4 picks.
Well, you'd still have some 6.
What if I want that from you? I'll move up with you, but I want the back half of your draft.
Let me call you back.
No, I'm busy. I'm going to eat.
Let me call you back.
You'll
answer.
Maybe not. I have
You'll answer.
My daughter's softball game.
That's on the night of the draft.
Oh, I thought this might be before.
No, this is probably the night of the draft.
Oh, then I'm working. I'll just call me back.
Do you call? Okay. Is there a trade package in your mind at all that involves a team like New Orleans or an equivalent that kind of needs a quarterback that involves Will Levis, that along with Levis and draft picks would help you maneuver around?
You have a higher value of Will Levis than many of us
okay.
do.
What is he valued at? Is he do you value him as a
seventh rounder? Seventh
I'm
rounder.
going to say a fifth.
To whom? We saw him play. He's not a fifth rounder.
Well, he's not a second rounder.
Are
either.
you his agent? If you are, that's fine.
No, I'm
Just
not.
tell Dr. Crane and we're good with that, and we'll help you out.
No, I'm not.
We'll
I'm
spread
just saying, like,
we'll
is
the positivity?
Is there a value on him that would act as a conduit to put a trade package together to add more picks?
I think Jacksonville would take him
because of Liam Cohen
in the sixth round, a sixth rounder. You'd do that all day.
If I got a sixth rounder for him, I'd do it.
Yeah, you would do that all day.
I mean, truthfully, because I think it's a detriment to him and to Cam Ward to keep him on the roster if you're going to bring Cam Ward in. It's just you're creating awkwardness. So I would take just about anything for him at this point. But if you can get a fifth or a sixth, then I'd probably call that a win.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm telling you, I just think Cam does not get chosen. And when you've got all the cards sitting on your table where you could deal them out and get so much back, I mean, will you be happy after the first two rounds? First three rounds, if it's Cam Ward, Jaden Higgins, and Pierce from Tennessee? Those are your first three picks, and then you don't pick again for a while. Or would you like to have 6 picks in those first 103? I think I came up with. You double the guys. You're still picking 6 guys in the first 100 of the draft.
I mean, if you got 6 picks in the top 100, I'd like that a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
if not,
they're going to have to move. They would have to move off one to do that, and I don't think they are.
And then Wiggins might miss his Wiggins might be a good receiver, but how many does a first-year receiver make an impact in the league like this? It's very rare that happens. You got Cam Ward back there who's going to get everything thrown at him by whatever team the first couple of games throw everything at him. I just think more you just go out and try to deal with it and get paid. It's so confusing because it's such a bad football team.
I know.
That's the problem.
615-737-1025. I want to hear your draft. Whether you've done a new one or you're doing a new one right now. I want a draft from you.
Okay.
Coming up next. We'll do that. Chasing Big Joe on this Tuesday, brought to you by the Omni Nashville Hotel. Hey, tune in to 94.9 The Fan this afternoon. Vandy baseball takes on Lipscomb over at the Hawk. Pregame at 5:45. The first pitch at 6. You can also listen on the Game Nashville app and at thegamenashville.com.
With the first pick in the NFL draft, the Tennessee Titans select.
It's a great question. Who are they going to select? It's all coming up. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game on this Tuesday. Looking forward to our draft show coming up next week at Twin Peaks in Madison. The crew back together again. Jared Stillman, Chris Sanders, Derek Mason, and Trevor Maddich from ESPN going to join us as well.
Should be a fun show, man.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. All right, you've done your draft.
All right,
by the way, Sean Henry, who is our best friend and the CEO of the Nashville Predators,
yes,
chief bottle washer as well, has suggested that instead of us doing mock drafts, we should go and look at quote-unquote experts' top 10 picks from last year to see how close they were.
I think it's in some of his assistants. He's got like 30 assistants over there.
Yeah.
If you could send like 10 of those to help us do this, Sean, we'd love to if you could do that. So thank you for that information. Again, ESPNanalytics.com. Go there, do the draft. It's not only is it fun, but it's information. You learn about some of these guys. Like, I didn't know Jordan James from Oakland High School played at Oregon's in the draft.
Yeah.
No idea.
Yep.
So this is one of the running back that could go in the top 125 of the draft. So who knows? So I traded with the Bengals. I felt the Bengals could say, hey, we want Travis Hunter. We've already got Jamar Chase locked down and Higgins. We're good. Higgins, Mrs. Higgins. And then you got your guys. So with me, I'm the Titans. My first two picks are Mikael Williams, edge from Georgia, and James Pierce from Georgia. I get the number 9 and 16
from Tennessee.
pick. From Tennessee, yes. Sorry. Get those two guys, right? So boom. I'm
got
sorry.
number 9 and 16.
I'm sorry. I got him first at 17, Pierce at 35 in the second round.
Okay.
And then I gobbled more up. So I got 2 edge rushers.
All right.
You don't have any.
Yeah, that's true.
Team's feeling better right
You
now.
don't.
Then I got Jaden Higgins, a receiver who's still there. Big guy, big body, go
What
down the
pick?
field. A second at 49.
Okay.
Look, man, I wheel and deal with the Bengals. I told them.
That's fine. I just
That's
give
how
me
it's
the pick
doing.
number.
No,
That's
I'm
fine.
good with you.
Yeah.
I'm controlling the draft of the Bengals.
Yeah,
They're not
do
getting
it.
one on me. Third round, I get a guy, Terrence Ferguson, the big tight end out of Oregon. He's
Okay.
here.
You've
So you've
addressed
got-
the need there.
You got 2 rush ends, you've got a receiver, you got a big tight end. Then you need linebackers. I went Demetrius Knight Jr.
He is a popular pick in mock drafts for the Titans.
That
I like
defense in
him.
Carolina was really good down the stretch, and he was the leader on that team. Then I'm going to go with a cornerback, Quincy Riley from Louisville. Seems to be pretty good. I don't know anything about him. I like Quincy. I used to eat there as a kid. Why not? And then after that, Billy Bowman, safety of Oklahoma. 5th round, J.J. Pegues, DT out of Ole Miss. And in round 6, a wide receiver out of Florida, Shamir Dyke. Chase loves that Shamir Dyke. So well done. Well done. He's a good player. Probably not the best player, but he's good.
So you
This
didn't
is great.
You didn't get any guards?
No, I didn't
No
get
guards?
No guards. You can get guards off the heat pile.
I know.
I'm not drafting that. What do you say Floyd always said?
Nah, I'll get that later.
Oh, that's almost like my Floyd laugh.
So it's funny. Jared likes to go and find around draft like different clips of Floyd, and he comes into my office one day and he's laughing. He goes, "You'll like this." I was looking for clips of Floyd, and I found this one from like the first year that we did Jared and the GM. And it was an Ask the GM, and somebody had called in and said Floyd. It was when the Titans had number 1, and I think had traded out or were trading out of it or all that. And he was like, "What would you do with all those picks?" And Floyd's like, "Well, yeah, I got a lot of needs. I need, I got the quarterback, so I need to build around the quarterback. So I'd go get a receiver. I'd go get a rush in, a pass rusher. I'd see if I could find a tackle. We don't have a right tackle. Go find a right tackle." And Jared kind of interrupts him and goes, "And a guard?" And Floyd, like, you could hear it in his voice. It's like, "Shut up." And he goes, "Nah, I'll get that later." I can get that whenever.
That's what it is. I was looking also, quarterbacks in this, when the rookie, like, Steve, it's hard to quantify Steve McNair as a rookie because he didn't play the first 2 years.
Yeah.
By the time he got starting in 97, he was good. Like VY relied on his athleticism in 06. And VY, look, made the Pro Bowl, and that's not an honor really because all the quarterbacks dropped out, but he still went and did that. And then Locker didn't play any hardly in 11, and then 12 he was okay on and on. Mariota got beat up in 15. So I was looking at the quarterbacks throughout the years to do that, and put Cam in there, and I just last thing I want to see, my friends, is Cam Ward on the sidelines at Nissan Stadium with his head in his hands. Like, what the hell is going on?
I think Dr. Crane has found that clip of the late, great Floyd Reese.
Is there any chance, it looks like we're going to have a top 10 pick and a top 5 pick from the Rams. Is there any chance the Titans keep both picks? And if they do, what positions would you be looking at for them for next year? Thanks, guys.
I would be looking at corners. I would be looking at pass rushers, and I would be looking at receivers.
And offensive guards.
And, but I'll get a guard later.
Why is Stillman just inserting himself
I know,
in that so with good. A very popular and very influential general manager?
I missed that voice, by the way.
I still got his laugh. If you want to hear it,
give it to us.
It's like,
it's pretty good.
Thank you.
Hey, Bo.
Thank you.
Did he ever call you Bo?
No, I mean I knew him, but I didn't know him like you guys did.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. You were already gone, I guess, when he was
yes,
here.
Sir.
But all right, you got me working trades now.
It's fun. It's no fun to go to the ESPN Analytics draft and put in Cam Ward. That's no fun. Hell, I just got us 2 rush ends and a good linebacker. You're welcome, Amy. And I'm doing that pro bono.
I mean, like, what I'm doing right now is trading 1 to the Raiders, and it's letting me do 6, 37, 68, 180, 215 in their first next year.
Take it. Take it. You got one over on Pete Carroll right now.
I am fleecing that, and I'm getting a 4th rounder next year too. So there you go. I have just fleeced Pete Carroll with a trade.
Hey man, you're about winning. That's what you got to do.
It's
here no fun to do, Ken. So did you do it?
Yeah.
Who'd you pick at 6?
I haven't picked yet because I'm now going to see if I can move back up.
Oh, okay.
With all the picks I just got.
Look at you wheeling and dealing.
I'm gonna see what I can do.
Riverboat gambler Chase McCabe.
That's
like
me.
On a Saturday night on Broadway.
That is
seeing what's out there.
Tossing some backwood buoys.
Right, man.
615-737-1025. It's Chasing Big Joe, broadcasting from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville Studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. I feel like a roller coaster about to take off. It's funny.
Yeah.
Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game on this Tuesday.
Isn't that Dwight Schrute's music in the car before he goes in to do a sales? He sits in the car and cranks Motley Crue.
Gotta love some Motley Crue. That is for sure.
Your laugh just sounded like the buildup of the song.
I love it.
It did. Yeah, no, it did. So we're having fun with the ESPN Draft Simulator. I have been a wheeler and a dealer during the break.
Get it, man. What you got now?
So I traded number 1 to the Raiders. I got 6, 37, 68, and then I think 178, and then their first and their fourth next year. I then picked up the phone, called Jacksonville, and said, hey, I want to move up a spot. And I got 5. Basically, I swapped. I gave them 10. I had gotten 103. And so I moved up to 88 and to 5. So I've wheeled into. I have a ton of draft picks now in this year's draft.
Proud of you.
Not that I think that that's realistic, but I feel good about it.
You should feel good.
So
about
now, with the 5th pick, oh my God. With the 5th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Travis Hunter, cornerback from Colorado. I don't know why he's still there, but he's still there.
Well, you got him now, buddy.
And now I'm back up at 35. And I will take James Pierce Jr., edge rusher from Tennessee.
Bring him on. Bring him here.
He's staying home. And then at 37, I will go Jaden Higgins.
Just go ahead and mark him as a Titan.
Every draft we're doing. Now I'm at 68, which is the 3rd round. Got a couple of different options that we could do here. I'm going to take a flyer because he's fallen. Tyler Show, is it Show? Shao?
It's Shao.
Shao.
The quarterback from Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take him with my third round pick. There you go. Take a flyer on him.
Why not?
Let's see. Now we're in the still in the 3rd round, pick 88. I will go. A lot of good options there. I know this is great radio.
It's really, I mean, like it, man.
Scattaboo's there. Would you take Scattaboo in the 3rd round or skip him and go 4th round? I'd probably go 4th round.
Yeah, I'd skip Scattaboo.
Skip Scattaboo. Can you imagine? Is this what this is like? Like they just sit in a room. Like, what if we traded this? And
It's got to be like that.
I mean, I like my picks.
Why don't you pull some strings, get us in over there on draft night?
Yeah, I'm sure they'd go for that.
So Robbie, it's Chase.
Really? Too soon, man.
Yeah.
I need it. I'm going to go Terrence Ferguson, the tight end from Oregon. I think you picked him, didn't you?
Yep. Then when he drops the ball, you'd be like, WTF.
Yep. All right. So there's 2 3rd rounders now. Pick 120. Scattaboo's still there.
Do you have any linebackers yet you've taken? This team has no linebackers.
I got edge rusher. I got Pierce.
Not a linebacker. I need a linebacker.
Inside linebacker?
Yes.
Demetrius Knight's there.
Heck yeah. My man.
All right. I'll take him at 120. Taking Demetrius Knight Jr. from South Carolina. Pick 141. The Tennessee Titans select Jordan James, running back from Oregon.
Hey, the local boy.
There you go.
Kind of like Dedrick Tatum was a local boy.
He was. Man, Will Howard's there. I kind of wish I hadn't taken the Louisville guy now. We're going to go Jackson Slater, who's a guard from Sacramento State.
Why are you doing that? What round's that? 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
Another 6 rounder. How about Ty Hamilton? He's a defensive tackle from Ohio State.
All right.
You like that?
I'm not taking offensive lineman from Ohio State.
No, I know. Got another one. I'm going to take another tight end. Yeah, I'm going to take another tight end. Jackson Hawes from Georgia Tech. Doing that. I feel good about it. All right. Still in the 6th round. Got a lot of 6-rounders here. How about Shamar James, linebacker from Florida?
Love him. I just took him in mine. Yep.
Okay.
Well done.
All right. Good.
So, again, you started and you traded with the Raiders.
Yep.
Then you traded back up with
Jacksonville.
But
I essentially swapped our first picks and I got another 3rd rounder. I kind of fleeced both of them. Felt good about it.
Like it.
Let's see. Still in the 6th round. I'm going to go Tommy Hill, who's a corner from Nebraska. Take a flyer there. And that's it. That's our draft.
So give me your top 3 picks now.
Travis Hunter, James Pierce Jr., and Jaden Higgins.
I like it.
I got a quarterback in the 3rd round since I didn't get one. So there you go.
Well done, buddy.
The Raiders, since I traded my pick to the Raiders, they went Cam Ward.
Would the Broncos, they're at 20, would they trade up at 1 to get Travis Hunter?
No, I don't think so.
They'd have
to give up a
That's
lot
fine.
to do
You get up your 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. I called Sean Payton. I said, I want your 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and your number 1 next year. He's like, yeah, we'll do that. Then you get Travis Hunter.
Yeah, then you do that.
You got the local boy. You got Bo Nix. I mean, you're rolling.
Cleveland went Shedeur Sanders. The Giants go with Abdul Carter. Vrabel goes with Mason Graham. And then the Titans went Travis Hunter.
It's funny. Through all these mock drafts, look at teams. One team I don't even look at is the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh, yeah.
I don't bring the Cardinals up. I don't talk about them. Kyler Murray, I didn't know their head coach is. When that guy that was for the Eagles, he's still there?
Sure. What's his name?
Scadaboo?
Oh, that guy?
No, I mean, I don't know who the coach of the Cardinals is. He was from the Eagles, right? Did he leave after the 22 Super Bowl?
Jonathan Gannon.
JG.
Yeah, he was with the Eagles.
Yep.
The DC.
So I don't know anything about the Cardinals. I mean, that's the most hapless NFL team ever. Oh, man, I don't know about that, man.
2955 says DMA says you can't take flyers. The Titans can't afford to do that.
Tell you, man, it's going to be fun. And if Goodell walks up there, Chase, and says there's been a trade, chaos.
We have a trade to announce.
It'll be great. Chaos will ensue, man.
I just don't like. How did Hunter fall to me at 5?
Intangibles, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know
I
who
guess.
picked the first 4 before you.
Well, Jack. It was Cam, Shedeur, Carter, the DT from Michigan, and then Hunter. Like, there's no way that would happen.
No, but you never know. I mean,
You never know. You never know.
Inexact science. What's going to happen in 9 days?
Coming up next, we'll tell you what day it is and celebrity birthdays. Hey, this week's Nashville's best deal is Chiba Hut Toasted Subs. Get half off a $50 gift card now at thegamenashville.com/deals. Celebrate 420 the Chiba way on Donaldson Pike.
You know, I married my cousin last year.
Oh man, I don't know about that, man.
Can we please clarify what you're talking about?
That's
there?
twice that I've done that.
That's a drop.
For the love of God, let's clarify what you're saying.
I served as the officiant.
Thank
you. And my cousin and his wife
That's
now
great.
got married. You know, I married another cousin last year.
My goodness, what a mashup that was. I married my cousin, Joe Rexroad. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3, The Game on this Tuesday. We've had some fun today. DVD coming up in just a few minutes, but it is time. Our favorite. Let's get to it. What day is it? And celebrity birthdays. It's brought to you by Jarrett Companies, Inc., above and beyond industry standards. Commercial plumbing and HVAC, all forms of HVAC units, commercial refrigeration, and grease trap cleaning. Visit them at jarrettcompaniesinc.com.
All right, gentlemen. First on the list, we have Anime Day. It's, I guess, the cartoons.
Joe loves some anime.
I do. I really do.
Anime. All right.
Pokemon.
Yeah, I think that's in that realm. Let's see. Holy Tuesday is next.
Oh, yeah.
Income tax payday is today, I believe.
Not in Tennessee.
Yeah, not in Tennessee,
It's
but
been extended
to November.
Is that so?
It is. Yes,
Sure
sir.
is.
Interesting. Next on the list, we have Jackie Robinson Day. So I
yeah,
believe
okay.
baseball all were 42 today, I believe. McDonald's Day, Ronald McDonald.
Every morning.
Yeah, Micro Volunteering Day. I guess that's in a smaller capacity.
Is that what Nico's getting paid now?
Yeah, probably so.
Micro volunteers.
Yep. I got that. That was good.
Good.
Volunteers.
National ASL Day. That is American Sign Language Day.
Okay.
So
I thought it was something else that they used back in
Yep.
the day on MySpace, but that's all right.
I think that's AOL, right?
No, it was MySpace. ASL meant something else.
Oh, okay. All right. National Glazed Spiral Ham Day. So,
I love that.
love a good glazed spiral
like
ham.
a honey baked ham, baby.
Delicious. Let's see. National. There's no double P in here, so it's not what I think it is. National Gripers Day. So
That's American pastime.
yeah, it's
Yep,
showing
griping.
a piece of toilet paper. But continuing, National Laundry Day. So if you guys ever hang your laundry outside before?
All
No.
the time.
Okay.
On the clothesline? Absolutely.
Yeah, my grandmother used to. Not my nanny, but my other one. National Library Workers Day. National Rubber Eraser Day. National That Sucks Day. Take
2
that every
o'clock.
day.
2 to 6. He'll be saying that all day.
Let's see. Take a Wild Guess Day, World Art Day, and to wrap it up, Titanic Remembrance Day.
Oh, did it sink today? Or was it the anniversary of the sinking?
I guess so. They're
don't
just,
know.
I really don't. I think in my brain, I'm just shifting around a bunch of the chairs on the Titanic deck. That's
Did
all
you
I'm doing.
cry in the movie?
The 3-hour movie
Yeah.
near the end, maybe.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay to cry at a movie. I've cried before movies. All right, time for celebrity birthdays. Got to get these birthdays within 2. Our first birthday, the talented Emma Thompson, the great actress.
38.
40.
66.
Oh, nice.
Friend of the show, Chris Stapleton. Not really, but we'll claim him.
Chris Stapleton, 42.
52.
47. Guys right in the middle. I like that. So one of the actors in those little nerd movies, Luke Evans. You ever heard of him?
I mean, I'd probably know him if I saw him.
Yeah. Let's skip over. We don't need him. He's in one of those Middle Earth dumb movies.
32.
44.
No, right. Moving on. Drummer Patrick Carney from the Black Keys. What, they live here?
They do. 45.
43.
45 exactly. Chase knows where to put that gold on the ceiling.
Hi-yo.
Who else now? Actor Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen is 49.
44.
43. 2-1. Chase McCabe. Next up is actress Emma Watson. Wasn't she in one of those like Harry Potter movies or something? Emma Watson.
38.
She's Hermione. 35.
35 exactly. Chase, Nick, you're up 3-2 now. Good job. We'll go faster in a second. Let's see here. I'm trying to find people. Singer Samantha Fox. Heard she went to a party last night. Something happened.
28.
32.
59.
Nice.
Guitar player Ed O'Brien of Radiohead.
53.
60.
57. Singer-songwriter Margot Price.
38.
44.
42. Dr. Crane got it. He's up 4-2. All right, to the sports world we go now. From Showtime, the guard Michael Cooper played with the Lakers.
58.
55.
69. Former Tennessee wide receiver played with the Chargers and the Cowboys, Anthony Miller.
62.
57.
60. 4-3. Dr. Crane. This next guy, one day I was working out in the Donaldson Y, looked to my right, and there he was. It was Jason Sehorn. How old is Jason Sehorn? This is years ago. He's married to the chick on the SUV show, or SUV. Angie Harmon. Angie Harmon. It's whatever it was.
Jason Sehorn, 57.
66.
54. Dallas Cowboy linebacker Darren Smith, who won a bunch of Super Bowls with him.
57. I'll say that.
54.
55. Dr. Crane's up 5-3. Last one. Get a chance to tie her, Chaser. A former Olympic athlete. She won 12 medals. Dara Torres. 12 medals she won in the Olympics.
58.
What sport?
I don't know, man.
Okay. 60.
58 exactly. 2 days in a row we've had ties. Chase McCabe at the buzzer. You had no idea, did you?
Nope, I had no idea.
58. Our default 65, but good job, buddy.
Just threw it up there. That is going to do it for us today.
Hey, as we leave the show, to our guys out there, if you are going through some things and struggling, just don't shut down. Talk on your cell phone. You can call or dial 988. You can text it. You can call. Somebody's always there to talk to you. We are always there to talk to you. If you need to reach out, please talk to us. If you're going through anything, you're having a tough day, man, we're here for you. We all get tough days, but we also want you to know that we love you. We're here for you. So no matter what happens, we're here for you. Again, we love you. And more importantly, more than anything else in this world, God loves you.
Amen to that. Peace, love, rock and roll. DVD coming up next. 102.5, 106.3. That game.